Pals. Good morning everyone. So for today's video, I'm going to share to you another topic, the lesson, and other thoughts regarding LCP. Do you know what LCP is? Or do you have any idea regarding LCP? Or shall we say, learner-centered principle? So,
without further ado, let's do the work. Let's go.
Wow!
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the definition first, of course, of what LCP is, the learner-centered principle. So in my own understanding regarding LCP, since it is learner-centered principles, it discusses more on the learner. So this learner-centered principle helps a lot in a learner in a way where through this, it helps us students in a way where they develop the skills of the students through this,
Through collaboration,
as a team, though they are as a team, but they discover their own skills, their own talents regarding specific areas, in a different specific areas. So that's what the meaning of LCP, or the learner-centered principle. In addition, LCP focuses on students' background, individuals' background, talents, needs, developments, and etc. So with this, the learner-centered principles through collaboration, it helps students. It helps students, as what I have said earlier, to develop their skills. And although the teacher is the responsible one to give the students to give the students the lesson, to learn the lesson that they deserve. Well, in these principles, both of them are beneficiaries, since the teacher will teach, or they can discover strategy in order for the students to learn in an easy way, and the teacher will teach in an easy way without any hassle. So that's how good learner-centered principle is. So anyways, there are 14 principles in learning.
Number 1. Nature of learning process. Learning complex subject matter is the most effective when it is an intentional process of constructing meaning from information and experience. Goals of learning process. The successful learner, over time, support and guidance can create meaningful, coherent presentations of knowledge. Construction of knowledge. The learner can relate new information in meaningful ways. Strategic thinking. The learner can create and use a repertoire of thinking and reasoning strategies to achieve complex goals. Thinking about thinking. Higher order strategies for selecting and monitoring mental operations facilitate creative and critical thinking. Context of learning. Learning is influenced by environmental factors including culture, technology, and instructional practices. Motivational and emotional influences in learning. What and how much is learned is influenced by the learner's level of motivation. Motivation to learn is in turn influenced by learners' emotional states, beliefs, interests, goals, and habits of thinking. Intrinsic motivation to learn. Learning is stimulated by task of optimal novelty and difficulty, relevant to personal interests, and providing for personal choice and control. Effects of motivation on effort. The acquisition of complex knowledge and skills requires extended learner effort and guided practice. Without a motivation, willingness to exert effort is unlikely unless coerced. Developmental influence on learning. As individuals develop and encounter different opportunities and experiences, as well as constraints for learning. Learning is the most effective when differential within across the physical, intellectual, emotional, and social domains is taken into account. Social influences on learning. influenced by social interactions, interpersonal relations, and communication with others. Individual differences in learning have different strategies, approaches, and capabilities for learning that are function of prior experience and heredity. Learning and diversity. Learning is most effective when differences in learners' linguistic, social, and cultural backgrounds are taken into account. Last but not the least, standards and assessment. Setting appropriately high and challenging standards and assessing the learner and learning process, including diagnostic and outcome assessment, are integral parts of the learning process.
Okay, so that would be the topic of our video, and hope you like it, guys. And don't forget,
Like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Thank you.